Ladies and gentlemen, from Oxford University, please welcome back Professor Ennis Say.
As I was saying, there are a number of ideas that have come out of the past few days' sessions, and I thought that as a kind of a mega, overarching first step, we should discuss the nature of ideas per se, in and of themselves, extant, standing alone. I'm aware, however, that many Americans are pragmatic, practical, and proudly anti-intellectual. And from what I can see, uniquely qualified to be so. But I commend to you the nature of ideas and of this idea in particular. But if we were to look at it perhaps in its nascent state as a precept, ameliorate that precept into a concept, enhance that into a model, and represent the model as a template, initially just with two axes, X and Y, and four quadrants, before adding a Z or Z axis and making it a three-dimensional Rubik's Cube manifestation of the same and pushing it out the other side as a paradigm. Which, of course, as a keynote speaker, I would come along and shift. You can see how the idea and the nature of ideas themselves, the philosophy, relates to the system that we discussed yesterday. You might say, how does the idea on the one hand relate to the system on the other? I hope I did that right from the NLP perspective. What I have been able to do with the help of some bright young undergraduate and postgraduate students at Oxford is develop some theoretical and hypothetical conjoint and simultaneously converging and diverging parallel lines so that the various component parts of the system and the idea can be integrated and synthesized into an holistic totality, contextualizing the content, because content without context has no meaning, and we British like to be lucid and articulate rather than facile and gratuitous. After all, if we don't tell you, who will? I notice that your coffee is no better than your tea. Anyway, I mention all this before I begin in order to start the time clock again, and also clarify and classify and categorize and as we said yesterday, systemize some of the terms and concepts that I hope we'll go through today, so that we have the same lexicon of keywords, the same linguistic wastepaper basket in which to dip, the same dictionary of cliches and jargon. I'm a consultant to the Oxford Dictionary, and we have a unique feature this time. It's such a competitive world, lexicography, as I'm sure you would know. And our unique feature is, for the first time, we're putting an index in the back. Now, I have noted the way you learn here, and I think it's quite useful, and it certainly works at kindergarten. Why shouldn't it follow through to the University of the Third Age? But I'm going to say a little ditty, and then perhaps we can go together like this. National speakers are rational seekers. We walk the talk to pop the cork. Gosh golly jeepers. national speakers are rational seekers. We walk the talk to pop the cork. Gosh, golly jeepers, that'd be terrific. You would now turn to your neighbour and kiss them. I've learnt a lot of linguistic instruments here, including that one, to physicalise the emotion. We Brits are very passionate. But also, I've learnt to judge the sex appeal of people and of speakers up here on the platform. And I don't mean to appear too priapic or to mention sexuality in any particular way, because I know how sensitive you are about that. Normally I just stick to politics and religion. But last night, many of us were given one of these, and you may not be aware of what it is. It's a determinant of the appeal, the sex appeal, in fact, of other people as you see them. And you might like to call it a Randy gauge. And it comes from a peg, and I understand that with the disbandment, or in fact the transmogrification of the international peg into the International Federation of Professional Speakers, that memorable initialism, there was a need to create a new peg, and they've created one for people who are interested in the way they dress, the accoutrement, the way they grace the stage with clothing. It's called the clothes peg. And you didn't like that line? But I was delighted on the first night here to attend the Jewish service. And I thought, you're ahead of me here. I thought that at least those of us who went to the Jewish service should have got pre-cut cigars. Now that would have been congruent, don't you think? I didn't mean to go on about this. It's a bit of the swings and roundabouts, a bit of the going uphill and down dale of I have a more important audience later today. I'm just trying out material here to see if it works. It's very hard to say everything so quickly, and in many senses it's easier to write a novel than a poem. But one thing that we've all observed is the great importance to leave people with something lasting, something memorable, a trigger, something emblematic of the presentation that they have just seen. So I would like to leave you with this thought. That was it.